All right, all right, all right. Welcome. Great evening,
Great
great
evening.
people, and happy Monday,
Happy Monday.
everybody out
Hello.
there. Yes, 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 y'all. We already on fire. We coming in. Yes, yes, yes. Again, everybody, come on in the room. Welcome into Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. We are coming in on this magnificent Monday. We are in July already, y'all, and hitting the ground running in the second half of the year. And so if you have been stuck, not moving, or just kind of like pedaling along, come on, we're going to put some fire under
Get
you. It
moving.
is time to go and it is time to
Go.
flow.
Let's
You know,
go.
here at Sister to Sister, we say it's a flow and not a show. That flow is we fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. Anybody out there winning? I know I am.
I
Come
know
on,
I'm
come
winning.
on.
I know I'm
We're
winning.
here
Love it.
with a
Winning.
winning team tonight. And so we want you to go ahead and take a moment, get a pen, paper, pencil, get your lip liner, ladies, whatever you need to take some copious notes because tonight we have a dynamic duo tonight. And they are going to share some amazing nuggets. Let me just go ahead and let you know that July, we are coming in with the fire.
Right.
Yes, we are.
Monday, we are going higher and higher and higher. So you want to go ahead and mark your calendars. Mondays at 7 p.m., unless something changes, but we are scheduled to be here at 7 p.m. And we have an amazing lineup of individuals who will come in and share the story behind what we call the glory, the backdrop. You see individuals moving, but you don't know their story. And so tonight, we get to kick it off here tonight with again let's talk about the power of two, coaching with purpose, featuring a dynamic coach tag team. They do amazing work individually, but they also do it well together as well. We want to welcome in Janine, KittyLomax, Tucker-Wright, and Maxx
Hello.
Bennett. They
Stop.
are
Stop.
sharing
Stop.
how their collaboration and calling have turned stories into strategies. So we want to take a moment and welcome them in tonight. Before I say their bio, I just want to say welcome, y'all. How y'all
Hey,
Thank
doing?
thank you
you.
for
We
having me.
good. We
Welcome.
good. How are
Let's
you?
Awesome.
let's go. Let's
I'm
go.
doing amazing. Let's go. So before we do so, I have to share a little bit about you both. So Janine was born and raised in East Baltimore, Maryland. She has had a love for reading and writing since elementary school. She attended Lake Clifton Eastern High School. Hey, Lake Clifton, in the
LC.
90s and graduated in Aberdeen, Maryland in 1995. In 2011, she started out as a volunteer at the neighborhood school and was encouraged to go back to school. She received her associate's degree in early childhood education in 2014 and began working with children. Can we clap it up for her? That
Yeah.
same year? During COVID-19, shutdown in March of 2020, KittyLomax decided to use her time to pen her first novel, Darrius and Sean. With the support, she was inspired to write Darrius and Sean. Cat out the bag. All right. KittyLomax resides in Baltimore, Maryland, and continues to work with elementary school children in the urban communities throughout Baltimore. Yes,
Yep.
give it up for her
Right.
tonight.
That's
And
right.
Thank
then
That's
you.
right.
Mr.
That's right.
Maxx Bennett.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's right.
you are so welcome. Mr. Maxx Bennett is a Baltimore based poet, author, and inspirational speaker who channels his early experiences with poverty, loss, and adversity into powerful messages of resilience. A former corner boy and juvenile detention survivor, Maxx now serves as a mentor and advocate within Baltimore City Public Schools. I love it. Using his voice to uplift and inspire youth. His debut book, Maxx Maddox, love it, Volume 1, I Am the Universe, blends poetry and personal. That's what I'm talking about. He got it right there in his hand. Personal insights to encourage readers to transform their pain,
And
to transform their pain. And let me just make sure. There we go. Did I say it all? There we go. To transform their pain. I'm just going to say into power.
right.
So we are welcoming him and Miss
Thank,
Janine in
right.
tonight again. Welcome, y'all.
Thank you for having me.
You are
Yes.
so welcome.
I'm
You are
excited.
so welcome. So we're excited. We already started kind of before we started, and you all have even today, just shared, hey, you do the work every day working in Baltimore City Public Schools. And as I was sharing that here at Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves, we like to share that story behind what people see today. Where you are, it's not where you've always been.
No.
You do a lot of heavy lifting, I'm sure, every day.
Right.
And so we
Yeah.
want to just kind of transition into this conversation and share your dynamic from your dynamic duo collaboration as well as individually. um you all can just jump on in and kind of share your backdrop of your story and how you got where you are today.
So this is not just work, this is a lifestyle. So
Yes.
every day that we awaken, like we don't just wake up to go to work. We wake up to make history, to change lives, to crush goals. And that is the inspiration that gets us through every single day and every single like tribulation. So it's amazing just getting up every day and doing something you love.
Definitely.
Love it. I
Definitely.
love it. I love it. Janine, go ahead, jump in.
Listen, I love learning. Learning is fun. You know, people think that when you like to learn, you're categorized as a geek or a nerd. There's nothing wrong with being smart.
Right.
Never nothing wrong
Yeah.
with being smart. The smarter you
Mhm.
are, the more you can teach others. Taking in information is what we're supposed to do. I grew up writing speeches, helping my mother write speeches at work, learning how to write shorthand and things like that. And I love to read. I love to read. I love to write. And it's always been there. It's always been there for me.
Yeah.
And
That
working
that's
with kids. And working with kids, being with children.
Yeah. So I want to that is so awesome because both of you are authors and then both of you are also working with youth and young adults.
Right. Right.
And what has inspired you to now give back in your community and help these young people um to expose them to a better way of living through working with them?
Well, for me, the name Maxx, that stands for Militant Ancestor Unknown, comes from like the origin starts at Hartford Heights, which is the elementary school where I became my best self from working with the students and being able to put up with more and endure more than like the usual person and being able to just look past a lot of the pain and keep pushing for greatness. And I've taken a lot of students from
Mhm.
failures to student of the months and to, like really good report cards, principals list, things like that. And that's why I give it back because that place right there made me stronger. It made me who I am today. And it also, like, I've also met some of the best people in my life there that changed my life and changed my story. So that's why I give it back.
Wow. So you are taking your everyday experiences and now reaching back to help these young people.
That's right.
Awesome.
Good.
Miss Janine, tell us about your story.
Well, like I said, I started volunteering when my kids were in elementary school. And I was spending a lot of time like in the first grade class. And the first grade teacher, he was like, you should go back to school, do this for a living. And I did. I went back to school.
Wait a minute, Coach.
And
I'm going to raise my hand because you're being humble right now, and you are the queen of recess. And you know why. So we're going to need you to get straight to that, how you do the structure
I
recess.
didn't start out that way. No,
yeah, right.
no, I didn't start out that way. That came a little bit
right.
later, because after I did that, I started working with like after school programs, an after school program called Bell. And Bell kind of took a different direction when the shutdown happened. They weren't focused on the after school stuff anymore. So I started working for youth sports program, and that's when I became the queen of recess.
And you
um, playtime is more better for kids and safer when it's structured, instead of them just, running all around. You set up games, and they love to play them. They love relay races and different types of relay races. As long as you have the equipment or, a good idea, kids will just about play anything for that little 15, 20 minutes that they have for recess. And I'm just packed with ideas, and Max and I, we just bounce off of each other.
I'm gonna raise my hand again and get them the nitty gritty about how you preach and teach to the young girls, the young youth who always seem to think that stupid is cute and everything else. You always get in their butt. I need you to give them a little bit of that.
I love it. That's right. Don't let us be too humble tonight.
I am hard on them. And Max is always like, leave her alone. I'd be like, no, because I'm tired of telling her about her behavior. So I think we need to call somebody at home, because somebody needs to get through to that one. They could be in the first grade. Somebody need to get that one. Get that one. Yeah, it starts when they're really young. It does.
I was getting ready to say it start. You have to nip it in the bud
when they're young. Yes.
And especially when you're the ones really spending a lot of time with the young people, during the course of the day, sometimes probably more time than the parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Because I go from one school to the next. I'm at Hartford Heights in the morning, and then I'm at Cecil Elementary in the afternoon to the evening for their aftercare program. So I get to bond, especially with the aftercare kids, because I've had some of them for the past 4 or 5 years.
That's amazing.
I've watched them grow up. I've been to graduations. Their parents know who I am. Yeah, their parents know who I am. They call me. I call them. We text sometimes, and then sometimes it's not always about the children. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just call and talk to each other just to talk.
I mean, parents need uplifting as well, because that's where home. Once you, and that's the secret to this all. If you can reach home and uplift home, then you can help the child. Like,
that's so good.
Because, like, even as adults, we still need that uplifting. We still need to know that we're doing good. We still need to know that we're on the right path. Fall, because life is hard, and we all struggle in one way or another. So we still need to know that we are doing good. We still doing good. You know what I mean? We still need that parent.
Yeah, absolutely. And then sometimes we find that the adults are just little children inside. You grown on the outside. Yeah. And so with that, can you tell us what has been your most that aha moment to say that, you know what, this might be challenging work and a lot of heavy lifting, but this is necessary and I'm right where I'm supposed to be? What's that moment?
Man. So I'm gonna tell this little bit of backstory. So before I got back to Hartford Heights, I worked at Hartford Heights maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I loved it. I was a therapeutic aide. Changed lives. Same thing, man. It made me. So recently, within the last, I can't think of the year, but before I returned back to Hartford Heights, was been in like the last 2 years, I was an armored truck driver, and like it was good money. but I hated the job. I hated the job. Like, it was terrible. Long hours from 5:30 some in the morning, sometimes to 9, 10 o'clock at night, so a lot of driving. It was terrible. I hated it. Dangerous, bulletproof vest, everything. So anyway, one of my best friends, which is in my book, Mathematics, which inspired me to write this book, Mathematics, Big C, as a teacher at Hartford Heights Elementary. Me and him talked and prayed one night. And the prayer was for better health, happiness, and for me to have a new job. So, with that being said, the next day he called me in the morning and said, "Hey, come to Hartford Heights. The boss man want to talk to you." So I came, talked to the boss man, which is the principal, Mr. Willen, amazing guy. Um, he told me to talk to his people, YSP. He's not sure how the process was going to go, how long it was going to take me, but he wanted me to talk to them. So he put me on the phone with him. And I talked to them for maybe about 5 minutes. And they said, "Okay, Mr. Bennett, we will do everything and background checks and this, that, and the other. But you have great recommendations, so you can start tomorrow." And that was nothing but God right there. Like, that was God right there, man. So yeah. So I've ever since then, I was supposed to be there. That's what God wanted me to be. So
That answered prayer.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't know how it's coming, but I always say that, like, what you're looking for is looking for you.
It is.
Right? We have to get clear on what we want, what we desire. A lot of times we know where we are is not the end all to be all. Oh, hey, look, this not working.
That's right.
But when we make up our minds that, hey, I'm ready to make a move, I believe it starts coming towards you. And, like you said, prayer, you pray, you put it out there, and look, the opportunity and the door was open.
Right. My life. That's amazing. Once again.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Miss Tucker.
I got my start at Harlem Park Elementary Middle School. Like I said, starting with the Bell program, I started small with the after school programs, and a man named Maurice McCoy, that is my mentor.
Wow.
He gave me a chance. And like you said, Max, it wasn't nothing but God, because I was out of work. My phone was off, and I don't even know how the email came through for me to get the job. Like, I didn't have to go on a job interview or anything. They emailed me that application, and I was there with them until COVID. I was there with them until COVID. And then I was at James McHenry Elementary Middle at the time. And the lady who was the program manager for Bell, I was her assistant. And when school closed down, she called me and she was like, "Listen, I want you to come work for me." Her name is Miss Dickpen. She said, "I want you to come work for me." And I've been working with her ever since.
Wow.
And I didn't just meet Maxx, but this is our first year. This was our first school year actually working together. So when we got to working together, we started talking, and I was like, "Yeah, I wrote 2 books. I need to get on the ball." I'm like in the middle of the third when he was like, "I'm in the middle of getting ready to publish a book too." And I was like, "Really?" And then, like, from there, we just started talking, and he had a lot of questions about publishing and copywriting and things like that. And I would like answer his questions. And then we have like another coworker that started writing a book, and then she was out. You met her, the other lady at the Miss Lucas, like, and it's so good to be able to like share like all of your resources and come together and do things together, because we're stronger together. And I'm always going to share what I know, and I would expect them, other people to do the same with me. But me working with children is like I have a long line of grandkids now. So like, my grandkids, they're fun, and they need guidance just like everybody else, even though they need guidance too. So when I can give guidance to the small kids, I just love it. I just love it. And they love you. They love you back when you show them guidance. They give you hugs and they give you toys. They make drawings and everything and give it to you. I have all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
I come home with every school year and I'm like, what am I going to do with all of this? But I find somewhere, I put it in a folder, put it in a tote, have everything. I keep everything. That's why I with so much stuff.
I love it. I love it.
Like,
But you know, your
connection is completely divine. Just because when you guys got on, there's just such a natural connection there. Like,
that's
you guys have known each other for years. It's so natural. It's so natural. So what advice would you give to people who are looking for partnerships or looking to connect with people to work with? Because the connection that you guys have seems so divine, so natural, so innate that you can't, it's not something that could ever be forced or manufactured.
Right. So
you have to, I feel like you have to, have some of the same interests, want to do some of the same things. Like I said, and when he told me that he was writing a book, I was kind of hoping that he was looking for a publisher, but he already had one. So he said he's going to go with my publisher on the next one, a lady named Miss Stokely. The other lady who writes with us, I put her in touch with my publisher for her first book. And and she's an independent publisher. You know, I don't have to answer to anybody corporate. You know, I don't have anybody over my back saying, listen, I need you to hurry up and get me those chapters by this day and that day. I write at my own pace. When I don't feel like writing anything, I might read something or I might not do any of those things. You know?
Tag me in, Coach. Tag me in.
Tag you in. Go ahead.
Right. All right. So anyway, it's simple.
I love it. Look at y'all.
Me and her share something that I call Max Commandments, and it's on page 70 of my book, and that's simply learn, work hard, be grateful, be resilient, create, love, live, build, and be amazing. So that's what we share with every single day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you should see us at work. All we do is goof off. It's not even a joke. That's all we do.
No,
so work is not even work because
but work is fun.
Work is fun, but we do a lot of goofing off behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be.
Wait a minute, boss man, if you listening, not me.
Well, the boss already know I'm a goof anyway, so she knows.
But it's productivity, you know.
It definitely
is. It's productive.
Yeah.
So you got me because I was getting ready to ask you about those Maxx Amendment?
Maxmatics. It's
Maxmatics.
Maxmatics. Yeah.
Got you. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit more about that. You kind of went through them. But how do you infuse or implement this in what you do?
So each page in my book has its own story, has its own tale. So everything is not just as simply like poetry. Some of these things are life experiences. Some of these things are other people's life experiences. Some of these things are manifestations. Some of these things are things, basically, it just changes the way that people sees the world. And one page that I want to share with you guys is page 25. Since it's sister to sister, I want to share Strong, Black, and Beautiful.
All right.
Okay, so this is page 25 of Maxmatics, Volume 1. I'm the universe, strong, black, and beautiful. You are a hero in my eyes. Work hard, dress nice. Your kids are your life. Even though you may keep a tear in your eyes, one smile from your seed of your life and your eyes are dry. You don't need a nigga, you want a man, but no times for games and playing. Your child is black, so daily you're praying for their safety. And lately you just don't understand. But God's plan is alive and strong as long as you keep holding on. Strong, black, and beautiful on a pedestal is where you belong.
Ooh, okay, man.
So that's page 25 of Strong Black and of Maxx Volume 1, which is Strong Black and Beautiful.
Yeah. So we know you have volume 1. So we know volume 2 and so on and so forth will be coming
Volume
soon.
2 is already about to be on its way. Volume 2 is called Love Frequency.
Okay, all right. So y'all stay tuned. Of course, before we leave today, I want y'all to share all your hashtags, where they can find you, where they can get the book, links and all of those things. Janine.
Yes, ma'am.
As I was reading your bio, I couldn't help but, just see how during a time where the world was navigating so much, loss and just trying to figure out how are we going to get through COVID-19, you utilize that time productively and you picked up your pen and you began to write.
Right.
Yeah.
And can you share with us a little bit about your story, the storyline, Darrius and Sean, and how that came about?
Well, before the shutdown, Darrius and Sean was already like floating around in my head because I actually wrote my first book when I was like in the 6th grade.
Wow.
I was just so young, I really didn't know what to do with it, but I still have it. But I was sitting around the house. They sent me home with laptops and hotspots and all of this stuff. And I was just like, the things that's been rolling around in my head. I asked my son to give me 2 male names, and he said Darrius and Sean. And I sat there and I wrote Darrius and Sean in 1 week.
There we go.
1 week. I wrote this book. And
say that one more time. How long was it?
1 week.
I just for the people in the back.
Yeah. I wrote this book in 1 week. And I mean, I had the time and it just flowed. And once it was done, I reached out to my sister-in-law and she knew somebody was a publisher. And my husband was reading it and he was like, you can do a part 2. And then I wrote part 2. It took me a few months. It didn't come out as fast as the other one. But on the front cover is my husband and my oldest brother.
Wow.
And on the second book is me, my husband, with my brother and his lovely wife. We took our own pictures, did our own cover art. And it was just fun. It was just fun, to like get into it. Like right now I'm looking for models for my 3rd book.
Okay.
I'm looking for models for my 3rd book. But Darrius and Sean is just a story of teenagers in Baltimore who grow up together. They grow up together and they form these relationships. And out of nowhere, they become more than friends. They have kids together. Things from their past come back and they have to deal with it. They have to deal with not having dads around. All of them are raised by single mothers. All of them. Everybody in the book is raised by a single mother, no fathers around. And in part 3, it really comes full circle because somebody's dad comes back.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's juicy. Okay.
It is. Somebody's dad comes back. There's a lot of drama behind it.
Fighting. There's a lot of fighting.
There's a lot that goes on. Things are blowing up. People are getting found. Places. It's just. I didn't think that it would go that far, and I've read a lot of stories where they have like multiple parts. How you get. And it just drags on. And I was like, I don't want it to be no part 3, but it's going to be a part 3. And I don't care if the book is this big. I'm going to finish it. That's why I'm taking my time with, because I want to finish it so that when it ends, everybody will know that that's it. Because I already have like a character from the 3rd book where I'm starting a new book
series,
with someone else. Yep, a whole new character, and she's introduced in the third book, so I can move on from there and go from there.
I love it. I mean, even as you're talking, I'm seeing this in like plays in theater. You know, I'm already.
My next thing is to try to get it like and like maybe a little Netflix show or something on Tubi. You know, maybe a short movie or something with a few episodes. You know, and it's one day at a time. Like I said, I don't have a corporation over my back. I'm doing things on my own terms, my own time. You know, because only I know what's good timing for me. I enjoy the work that I do. Yeah, I definitely enjoy the work that I do with the kids. So I don't need anything like pushing me too far away from that, because a desk job for me is like a no. That's one of the reasons I love my work, because I'm always moving around. I'm never in one spot too long. You know, so, and I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful how our natural, your innate abilities, your skill sets, those things that you love, when God creates a space for you where you can thrive in it, like a job that perfectly aligns with what you want. And it just happens when you make yourself available. Both of your stories are definitely empowering, and I know that it's real life. It's real life, because in the times that we're living in, we don't need fluff, right? We need things that's literally going to help us to bust a move, to stay in the flow, to stay motivated, and activated, and not being stuck or inundated with what's going on in the news or distracted. And so, but carving out ways for us to continue to be inspired. So what I want to ask you both, for the because we have a number of individuals who will listen to the replay or even viewing right now, and we want to just pause for the cause and say, hey y'all, thank you,
family, hi.
Yes, because they're blowing up the chat saying, hey ma, hey. And so we want to celebrate you all, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And we want to speak to those who may have a story line inside of them. You mentioned something, Janine. You mentioned that, hey, these stories have been rolling around in my mind for a while, well before COVID. But here, the message meets the moment, an opportunity in time where you can actually have the time and space to begin to write it out and pen it. So I want you both to take a moment and speak to the person who has a story that's been rolling around in their mind, in their heads, a concept, an idea, a vision, but they're kind of like stuck and not sure how. They might be a perfectionist, or surviving perfectionist like me, where at one point I thought that I had to have it in a certain order. I had to have chapter 1 first, then chapter, 2, and all of that. But speak to them in your own way and how to embrace the process and start from where they are.
So, Maxx. So this is a physical product now, but it started off as just something that I wanted to leave behind for when I leave this earth. So one of the things that can be misled, or some of the things that can not just come to fruition because we don't do it. So push ahead, because you want something besides your children. We love our kids, but besides your children, what will you leave behind to say that you were here? So for me, that's what pushed me into finishing my first book, is to have something that say I was here. Not just that I was here, but I was amazing. I completed, something that that gives me purpose, something that will give other people purpose and inspire them to be their best selves.
Yeah.
So that's what I can give you from Maxx.
Legacy came to mind. Legacy.
Yes.
Legacy.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be what you leave, it's what you're living as well every day.
Right. Purpose.
A living legacy. Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
Yeah. And it's definitely important because we're all put here for a reason, for a purpose. And I feel like we should all do what we're good at. Do what you're good at, do what you love. Like, because when you go to work and you don't love it, you don't want to be there. You know, so is nothing wrong with like branching out and doing something different that's just for you. A lot of times my writing is just for me. Is something that I've always loved to do. I enjoy when people read my book and they're like, when is the next one coming out? Or when can I get part 2? And I'm ready. I'm right there with them. Listen, you can get it from me. You can go here. You can go there. I just got on the shelf in the library this past December.
Congratulations!
I was waiting for that one. So Darrius and Sean 1 and 2 is at the library downtown.
That's amazing.
Right? Yes. And I was told that the more people check it out, they will contact me so they can get more. So you all can like put it on hold. They send it to your local library. You go and pick it up.
I love it.
Read it. So that's in place. So that's like some of the things that I want to get my people to do now. I want Ms. Lucas, I want Maxx, I want everybody to get in the library so everything just be like out there so that our work is just not in our community. I want it to just be all over the world.
Yes.
You know, I just want people to be like, oh, you know, I've read that. I read that like we do when we read everybody else's stuff. Oh yeah, I read that book. It was good. And I want people to do that. I want people to look around and say, oh yeah, I read that. Have you read part 2? Go get part 2 and read that.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so I just wanted to be like worldwide. I'm not looking to like be like rich on some level where I can't even walk down the street, but I do want it to bring me some kind of wealth to where as though when I stop working or when I can't work or when I don't want to work, then I can sit back and live off my royalties.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, definitely.
And it's already in place. Go ahead.
Yeah. I can't want to blow up.
Yeah, that's good.
Just a little bit.
In comparison, so one of my favorite quotes, one of my favorite mathematics is, if you work hard at your job, you'll have a job. You'll keep your job. But if you work hard on yourself and improve yourself, then you can make as much as you want.
Yes.
Listen. Are y'all getting these strategies and these nuggets that's being dropped tonight? Look, we pray that this is inspiring you all to pick up the pen. You can, even if you say, hey, I am just I love, I have a joy in reading. You can plug in. You might not be a writer, but if you know you have a story within you, it's time to get it out. Don't allow it to lie dormant inside of you. That can be your next stream of income inside of you. You might be working a part-time job, but you can maximize and monetize all of those things, those skill sets that's lying dormant within you. And so tonight you are hearing it firsthand. From individuals who have maximized the moments and taken just their everyday lives or storylines and experience and turned it into stories that are impacting and empowering, positively impacting and empowering lives every day.
If you have feelings and emotions, if you're everyday, if it's anything, you can write a poem, you can write a story just by going off of how you felt one day out of a week. a week out of a month. You know, if you had a rough month, if you had a good month, it can be written.
That's right.
Like Noah said, it was written, right? It was written.
Yeah.
It can always be written. It doesn't always have to be a long story. It could just
drawn
be
out,
a poem. It could just be a few lines, and people will read it because somebody can always relate to anything that anybody's going through. Anything.
Oh, I love it.
Because those are the best stories, right? The ones that allow us to be seen, the ones that we read and we feel like we can see ourselves or feel ourselves there in that moment.
Yeah, it's just like music. It's just like music. Music make you feel. Reading a good book or reading a good poem, all of that can make you feel. And that's what it's all about. People try to hide their feelings. People try to shut down their emotions, and it's not good for the soul. It's not good for your mental health. You have to get things out. Yeah, you can't keep it in. You have to let it out. And if you don't want to give it to somebody verbally, write it down. I used to keep diaries and everything when I was younger. Write it down. Write it down. I got rid of them after my father read mine. So
right.
He was
but you're absolutely right. You have to, it's a way of expressing yourself. For many, it's therapeutic. I know for me, you know, it's therapeutic. It helps you with your mental health. A lot of times people, like you said, are holding in their emotions. And it can be a way to express yourself. You can give it another name. You don't have to say it was you. You know, it turned into a character like you did. You say, hey, son, give me some names.
Hey, listen, man, you never know because you are who you say you are. And I am Maxx. So it's different, you know. So, but listen, with that being said, I just finished a class at Morgan. Go Bears. I know how y'all.
All right. Represent Morgan. I graduated from there. Okay.
Class, and one of the one of the CEOs there left me with this, and it just made me think. And she said, "Where can you find the richest soil?" And I was thinking, and I was thinking, Iraq or wherever the oil may be, and all this, all that. Think about the money. But when she said the graveyard, it hit me. It hit me. And she said, "Do you know why the graveyard?" She said, "Because it's countless and endless amount of money that's laying in the graveyard with people with dreams that just went to the grave with them." So that right there, man, should inspire anybody to keep moving every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Les Brown talks about dying empty. You know, he talks about, you know, dying empty. And I don't know about you all, but so that's one of my mottos. I want to live a full life. So when I go from here, I'm empty. I've laid it all on the line. I have emptied out everything that God had destined and predestined for me, even before I was here. And sometimes we look at our lives and we believe that we don't have purpose or what else is in me, and can something good come from my neighborhood or my zip code? And we're here to tell you tonight, listen, you are not here by happenstance. You didn't just tune in because it's your mom and this your brother and this your coach. No, this is a divine moment.
That's right. It is
for you. To now, as you can see them answering their call that's on their lives, it's time for you to answer the call. And when I say call, I mean purpose. Your destiny.
Yep.
Your destiny is just not for you to get up every day and look to the side and go to work and do those are things that we, you know, have to do. But there's more. There is more in you than what you've produced to this date.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. And my children, y'all better be listening. Y'all better get up and do what you love. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Don't wait. Do it.
And sometimes you have to do what you don't love, a sacrifice in order to get to what you love.
That's right.
If you are signing up every day for your 9 to 5, it's a sacrifice and it's an investment for a short time, because you can see the vision of what you long-term, what you desire to do. But you gotta want it. You gotta want it bad enough to keep showing up, to do what you don't desire to do enough to get to what you want to do.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yes.
That's right. Because I'm not even gonna lie, it costs some money to have a book published, but it can be done. It can be done. Like I said, my publisher, she was wonderful. She let me put down a deposit. She let me make payments until it was paid off. You know, it didn't have to be like the whole thing right now. And that works for people who work 9 to 5.
Yes.
He made a way for me in this whole process of me getting my book published. Every time I turned around, I couldn't afford to get something done, but then a miracle was happening where I got the money and I got a discount on just anything or everything. So God will work. Listen, God will work if you do, though. So
that part. That part.
Y'all talking to a man that got like 100,000 McDonald's points. So he was definitely good on food.
Man, I'm a worker bee, man. So God love me. God love his worker bees, man. We do his work, man, and his love and his light, and he always blessing us. You know what I mean?
And
that's true.
He's always blessing. Look, y'all over here preaching tonight. Y'all over here preaching and testifying to the fact of how he showed up for you. And again, when you make up in your mind that, hey, this is what I want to do, the provision will be will find the vision, the provision, the resources that you need. But he wants us to make up in our mind, what do you really want to do? You know, get clear. You know, what is it that you want to do? You want to publish a book? You want to create a product? You want to make some earrings? You want
You want to go back to school?
You want to go back to school?
Yeah.
You want to speak?
It could be done. Anything is possible.
As long as you believe it's possible.
Yeah. And we believe in you. We believe in you. And I'm just so inspired by your stories tonight, your transparency and just sharing your journeys and what you're doing and how, there is power in sharing our stories and awakening the creative inside of us.
That's right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate being here so much. It's my first podcast. I was so happy. I was like, okay, because and I've been saying it, right, Max? Like, I want to be on a podcast.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He was like, it's gonna happen.
The best podcast to be on. You know, the system flowing, we going, like it's just you know what I'm saying? It's just vibes and chemistry. So thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the good energy. So
and we definitely gonna high five it up when we get to work tomorrow, right?
High five right now.
High five.
Right.
Absolutely. Look, I love the energy. I love what you all are doing. And, it's easy to say, oh, I'm going to do it independently, but it's power in teamwork. I say teamwork makes the dream work. And we can do it. Like you started off saying, we can do it better, together. Because what I don't have, you have. Right. And somebody else may have the other piece too. And it's always another level for us to expand. Even in the word, it talks about iron sharpens iron. Sometimes we need someone else's their rough edges to smooth us out and vice versa.
Get that fire going.
And get that fire going. And we can clearly see y'all keep each other going all
Yes.
day,
all day long.
Yes,
All day
I
long.
love it. I absolutely love it.
I know he get tired of me fussing, but he know
you get on my nerves, big sis. But we're a team. So our thing, team, I know she forgot it, but together each other achieves more. That's how.
I love it.
Love it.
Right. That's
Woo!
right. That's right. And we gonna be a team. Black Writers Matter.
Yes. That's
Black
a t-shirt.
Matter.
Right.
Yes.
That's a whole t-shirt. Now you sitting here, y'all sitting in here we're here on Sister to Sister, but we are creatives, Lady T and I as well. And so, this is it's beautiful when we can come together. So I can already see us coming back together and collaborating together on other opportunities. Because who knew, birth out of June, right, Juneteenth, that we would be here together even today and sharing what you all are doing. But we do consulting on self-publishing as well, and also Lady T has services as well, proofreading and editing services. And so there are so many different resources out here. But what we want you to take away from Sister to Sister is it's not a one size fit all. Right? You have to find the resource, the consultant, the support that works best for you. But what we want you to know is that once you make that conscious decision that, hey, I want to do this, then now you have the responsibility to open up and connect with the resources, plug in to the different opportunities. And you have to, Max, you said it, every time I turn around, God is what? Making a way. He didn't say every time I stood still, he actually turned around. So somebody needs to just stand up and turn around. You got to physically stand up, turn around right now. Or make a shift, a pivot, do something. Sometimes we got to physically do it. And that's a symbol of what's going on in our minds, change your location, but there's some movement in that. You get it? So we're talking about making power moves. We have to activate again what is lying dormant. Y'all, look, I can talk all day because y'all done got me all the way stirred up tonight because I love when outside of what we do, because sometimes when you ask individuals, so who are you, they start listing their job descriptions, and that's not really
who you are.
That's what you do. But when we get to the purpose of it, when you get to your passion and how, God just strategically aligns that thing that's burning inside of you, and those skill sets with an opportunity that you happen to get paid for every day, that's a plus. But beyond that, you don't just thrive in work, but you're finding other ways to channel your energy and make an impact in the world and community. And that's to be applauded and celebrated. And we thank you for what you do.
Thank you for having us.
Lady T, how you feeling over there?
I think this was just a really amazing session. I think for me, what brought me so much joy was just the energy that you two have working together. It is such a natural experience. I can it's palpable, the joy that you guys get from working together.
Yeah.
And that just brought me so much joy, because when you have those divine connections, those divine relationships, the ones that are inexplainable, you just know that God sent that person to you. It's just something about it. And it just, you guys, it is so palpable that you love what you do and you love working together. And that just makes me so happy, because I feel like there's so many people in the world searching for that person, searching for that partner, that work partner, that person that really truly believes in them, not just says it, but really believes it, and is going to hold them accountable, but in love. show them themselves in love, lead them and guide them in love, support them in love and genuineness. And it's one of those things I think is really hard for some people to find. So the fact that you guys found it, are literally living it out, and are birthing things from it, is such a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
I think for me, that was just the most beautiful thing. Like, you guys just have, you have a rhythm.
Well, that's gonna be my friend. That's gonna be my friend for a long time. I can see that. We'll be friends for a long time.
Yeah. And I'm sure every day it's a journey of still uncovering, pulling back layers. Like, you did that.
Man, listen, we be tripping, man. But the thing is, it's not something that we found. It's something that we created. So it's a bond and a chemistry that we created. And everything is a fight in the beginning. Like, it wasn't always like this. Like, we always got along, but like, for every new level is a new devil. So, like, you got to know what's going on around you and kind of know who your people are and fill it out with that discernment. You know what I mean? And
that's
man.
big. Yeah,
because he might say, we're gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna be like, no, we're gonna do it like this. And then whatever.
We're
gonna do
and
it
then
like
you
this.
find a middle ground.
That's right.
And you get it done. Right.
Yep.
So as we're closing out tonight, listen, we clearly already know we're gonna have to have a part 2, maybe a 3 and a 4, some volumes to this. But we're super excited that we had the opportunity to be maybe one of the first podcasts that you've been on. And yay, sister to sister. So y'all tag us, share it out. We gotta get this word out. And so as we're closing out tonight, we want to give you both space to share your final thoughts around what we, the conversation, but final thoughts is laid upon your heart that you want, that a message that had to be left from your mouth to the people tonight. And then as you're sharing that, definitely share how our viewers can connect with you: IG, Facebook, social, LinkedIn, however they can connect with you, emails, all that good information.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this right here, it became just a personal habit for me, and it became a page in my book. And I want to share my affirmations, which you can find in Maxx Volume 1. And I usually put my hand over my heart because it's a pledge, like saying a pledge of allegiance. And when I say this, I mean this. I feel this. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. I'm grateful. I'm amazing. I have money. I'm a millionaire. I'm chosen. I am unstoppable. And the last one is your name. I am Maxx. So that's what I want to leave with you guys. And just know that in times of tribulations, prayer works, affirmations work when you put them together, but self-belief works. We all believe in God, but he wants you to believe in yourself just like he believes in you. You can reach me Instagram, Maxx Maddox, Facebook, same thing. Working on being a better social media person, but I'm real. So when you get me, you get the real version of me. Nothing will down.
Yeah. Come on.
And for me, the only thing I can say is do what you love what you do, live life with your claws all the way out.
That's right.
All the way out.
Okay, Kitty. Okay.
Live life with your claws out. If you want to purchase and read Darrius and Sean, I'm not going to discourage anybody from going to the library. Go to your main library, check it out. If you want to purchase physical copies, because I'm the only one with these, you can email me at janine.tucker11@gmail.com, or you can go to amazon.com and barnesandnobles.com. They have them there for ebook. It's just ebook online. Just look up Darrius and Sean, or you can search it by my name. Or you can email me. I can email you the links that take you straight to it at either website. But like I said, for physical copies, you can always email me, janine.tucker11@gmail.com.
Hey, thank you guys for having us.
Yes.
Seriously, man.
Wow.
Yes.
It's just so great.
You are so welcome. We love it. Keep on keeping on. Keep on activating the power of that pen.
That's right.
Because there are so many stories I know that are yet to be released in the earth, y'all. You heard it right here tonight from the powerful coach duo, the dynamic duo, Janine and Maxx Bennett, y'all. You need to follow them, support them, sow a seed. Even if you can't get the whole book, sow a seed. Everything counts. And we are appreciative for them pouring out and sharing tonight. And we pray, send them with prayers that God will continue to not only meet the need, but exceed the need for everything that they put their hands to. It is blessed in Jesus' name. Y'all, look, we're excited, and just go out tonight knowing that now is your time. Now is your moment, but it's up to you to maximize it. Okay, we didn't heard it from Maxx tonight.
And
we heard it from Janine.
Maxx,
right? Maxx.
High five, everybody.
Now is your time.
High five.
High five.
Bye-bye. Yep. High five, everybody. Meet us here next week. Don't just meet us here, but beat us here. Sister to sister, talk power moves. Take care, take charge, and God bless you.